I noticed a homeless man with a shopping cart filled with tons of dusty VCR tapes approaching me while I was on my trip to the nearby grocery store. I tried to ignore him, but he looked at me straight in the eyes and said, "Hey, buy a tape? I promise, they're worth it." I just ignored him and sped up to enter the store as soon as possible. He wasn't disappointed at all and calmly said, "Don't worry, first batch of tapes is free. I'll even deliver it to you." I quickly understood the creepy tape seller man was true to his word, because not even 20 minutes passed after I returned home, I had a box of VCR tapes waiting for me at my doorstep. Only, it wasn't really your normal delivery. It was more of like when a kid tries to prank you by ringing your doorbell and then running away. So you're greeted with nothing after you open the door. Except instead of nothing, I was greeted with a box filled with 10 VCR tapes. Curiosity got the better of me, so after a bit of searching, I ordered a VCR player from eBay. It arrived fairly quickly, and luckily I already had a compatible old TV stashed up in my garage. My viewing experience began after I excitedly hooked up the VCR to the dusty TV that looked more like a mini fridge than a TV. To better keep track of what I was watching, I'll transcribe the videos here one by one. Tape 1, Postman. Robert opens his eyes. "What the hell?" "I'm too damn hungover for this." Robert groggily walks to the door while the ringing continues. He looks at the peephole and strangely it seems to be either covered with something or blurred by some kind of liquid. Hello?
"Hello, Mr. Robert. Got a package here for you."
Robert starts scratching his head. "Package? What package?"
"Oh yes, your name and address is written on it. Says here you don't have to pay for it."
"Well, I didn't order anything recently. Must be some kind of mistake."
"I don't think it's a mistake, sir."
"Yeah? How so?"
"Well, I looked at the info written on the package itself. Looks like you won some kind of prize from the Coca-Cola company."
"No way."
"I heard that there's some kind of random prize giveaway organized by the Coca-Cola company going on recently. Seems like they picked you as the winner. It's your lucky day, sir."
"Well, it's about time Coke rewarded me for drinking that bottled cancer for years. Hey, you sure I don't have to pay for the delivery fees?"
"Everything is paid for already. The only thing I need is your signature."
"Well, you really made my day, man. Been a while since I won anything. Hey, let me grab my wallet and I'll give you a tip for your trouble."
That won't be necessary. No need to be rude, sir, but we postmen are busy people. We can't afford to lose too much time. If you could kindly just open the door and take the package, I would be very grateful. As I already said, I just need your signature as proof that you received the package."
"Well, sure thing, man. Let me grab a pen so I can sign it." Robert scrambles to the living room. He tries to find a pen in his messy room, but he notices something that makes him freeze in place. "I'm calling the police!" A blood-chilling, almost animalistic screech followed by heavy yet fast footsteps emerges from the other side of the door as soon as Robert finishes his sentence. In no more than 30 seconds, the sound of the main building door slamming shut is heard. Robert quickly takes a peek at the window trying to see who or what exited the building. He momentarily sees an extremely tall figure that would put even the tallest basketball players to shame disappearing into the darkness. Robert slowly approaches the clock in his living room. "Thanks, buddy. I owe you one." Time on the clock reads 2:53 a.m. The screen flashes and an eerie warning appears. Warning: start watching the second tape now, or suffer. And the tape ends. I stare in confusion at the TV, wondering what the hell I just witnessed. I pour myself a glass of water and take a sip. A sharp pain hits me as soon as I do. I spit out the water, and with it, a bloody tooth. I pick up the tooth to try to examine it, but before I can even take a better look, another wave of extreme pain hits me. But this time I feel it coming from my fingers. More specifically, the index finger on my right hand. As I take a look at my index finger, I see that the nail is completely missing. The only thing left is bloody flesh. While processing the disturbing mix of pain and fear, I remember the warning at the end of the tape. No way, I whisper to myself as I begin to realize the warning might be serious. In an act of desperation, I put the second tape into the VCR player. The tape starts, and immediately my TV screen flashes brighter than ever before. It was so bright that I had to close my eyes for a couple of seconds. Miraculously, as soon as I opened my eyes, my wounds were gone. Not only did the pain and bleeding stop, but it looked like nothing even happened to me, and my nail was back on my finger. I even poked my teeth with my tongue and confirmed that the bloody tooth that was on the table just moments ago was now in my mouth and in perfect condition. The realization hits me. Looks like I'm not leaving until I watch all 10 tapes. Even a short bathroom break could be my doom. I prepare myself as my eyes stick to the TV like super glue. Tape 2. Chickens begins. A tiny painting on the wall that looks like a rooster with a smile, 2 windows with bars, and a metal door are all that are noticeable features of the chicken coop from the outside. As the farmer gets closer, he notices the door popped out of its frame, and upon closer inspection, it looks like a professional boxer gave the door a few good hits. Oh shit. The farmer quickly enters the chicken coop, expecting the worst. He starts counting his chickens, and with disappointment on his face, he takes out his phone and calls someone.
Hey, I know you're busy and all, but I really need your help. Something big tore down the door of the coop here and even got one of my chickens for its dinner. Can you hop over here and help me change the door? I'll pay you a hefty sum of cash.
The farmer finishes his phone call, seemingly satisfied with how it went. While waiting for his replacement door, he tries to find out what took one of his chickens. He stares at the chicken walking on the sawdust bedding. He tries to find any sign of struggle, blood, or flesh. Unfortunately, he only sees the usual, noisy chickens walking around on the sawdust bedding without a care in the world. 20 minutes pass. The farmer's friend, carrying a seemingly impregnable door, joins him. They shake hands and hastily get to work. Some time passes and the new door is successfully installed. Hey, I owe you one, bud, handing out a wad of cash. Take this. You earned it. The farmer's friend takes the wad of cash with a smile. Well, let's just hope whatever broke down your door first won't come back. Actually, it worked pretty well for me if it did come back and wreck that door too. Changing a door for this much moolah is well worth it. Hey, you cheeky bastard. Don't get your hopes up. I think the door will hold. The farmer's friend wishes him farewell and leaves. The farmer gives his chickens fresh food and water, and locks the new chicken coop door and leaves. The farmer once again approaches the chicken coop. Looks like one day has passed. This time, the door looks to be in pristine condition. A big smile appears on the farmer's face as he notices the door has not been penetrated. The farmer unlocks the door and enters the chicken coop. Instinctively, he takes a look at his chickens. The farmer's bright smile turns into an angry expression. Damn it! How? The farmer once again calls his friend.
Man, you won't believe me. The door's all good, and yet one goddamn chicken is missing again. Something got away with it, even though the windows have iron bars and the door looks like it's damn near bulletproof. I'll need to borrow your security camera. Just for a little while. 3 days is more than enough. I have to see for myself what the hell is happening here.
About 20 minutes pass. The farmer's friend joins him once again. They quickly shake hands and get to work. The camera is quickly set up. It points directly to the chicken coop. The farmer's friend. Well, I don't know what kind of animal's killing your chickens. I guess It's a bear that learned a lot from Houdini. Whatever the hell it is, the camera will catch it live and you'll finally get to find out who or what your troublemaker really is. Yeah, I hope so. Don't worry. I'll return the camera in 3 days, just like I said. Hey, best of luck to you. Once again, the two friends part ways and the farmer locks the doors and leaves. A day passes, and the farmer does his usual routine. But this time, no chicken is missing. The same thing happens for 2 more days, and it seems that the farmer's luck has finally changed for the better. The farmer's friend arrives to pick up the camera. So, did you find who the mystery intruder was? Not at all. 3 whole days passed and nothing unusual happened. I even reviewed the surveillance footage. All I could see was just boring old chickens. Weird. Looks like the mystery beast went on its merry way. I guess it got sick of eating chickens every day. May it never return. The two friends part ways one last time, and the farmer locks the door of the chicken coop and leaves. It appears to be nighttime now, and the chicken coop is shown from the inside. The sawdust bedding rustles, and the chickens all run to one corner. They look to be in distress. A lanky, humanoid figure with short goat-like horns emerges from the sawdust. The mysterious creature lets out a deep yawn and stretches its long arms, just like anyone would after a good night's rest. Without even a moment of hesitation, the creature lunges at the chickens. It grabs 2 of them by the neck, putting them in its tight grip. The creature calmly approaches the door of the chicken coop. A quick crackling sound is heard as the creature easily snaps the necks of the 2 chickens. The creature puts down the lifeless bodies of the chickens and, for a moment, with surprising power and speed, starts to punch the door. Not even 20 hits are needed and the door pops off of its frame. The creature picks up both chickens and slowly exits the chicken coop. Tape ends. The same warning appears just like last time. Not willing to waste any time and risk getting heavily injured, I quickly take out the tape of the VCR and put in the next tape. Tape 3. Butcher begins. A man enters the meat market. He looks around for a bit, then he grabs 2 packets of ground meat. He goes to the checkout counter with his pockets in hand. At the checkout counter, he meets the shop owner. Hello. Hi there. The owner looks at the 2 packets of ground meat. That'll be $12. Sure. Let me just grab my wallet here. Oh, almost forgot to tell you. I'll be back in just a moment. The owner turns around and opens a creaky black door. He enters the room and closes the door behind him. The man looks confused, but still patiently awaits for the owner to return. About 5 minutes pass, and the owner returns. I apologize for the wait. Here you go. The owner gives the man a small packet of minced meat. What is this? Well, we just opened up this shop here, so here's your gift for being one of our first customers. It's a special kind of meat, made from a very rare type of pig. I'd say we're one of the only markets that produce this type of meat. Well, thank you very much, sir. The man pays for his order, and the owner quickly wraps up the 3 packets of meat in a paper brown bag and gives it to the man. The man slowly exits the shop. He turns around and sees the friendly owner waving him goodbye. But as he looks a bit closer, he sees that the owner's eyes are red and full of tears. The owner turns around and once again enters the room behind him. The man enters his home. He wastes no time and immediately starts prepping his meal. He takes the ground meat out of the 2 plastic packets. Skillfully, the man forms the ground meat into a couple of patties and begins to cook them on a small portable grill. As soon as the burgers become slightly brown, the man puts them in a couple of buns and eats them voraciously. The man finishes his meal, and he appears to be fully satisfied. He looks at the small packet of meat that the owner gave him as a gift. The man takes the packet, rips it open, and forms it into a small patty. He begins grilling the juicy, crimson patty. As soon as the meat looks fully cooked, he puts it on a bun and eats it like the last couple of burgers. But this time, the man looks visibly satisfied. He licks his fingers as soon as he finishes the meal. The man then says to himself, "Jesus, this is damn good." The man cleans up after himself, then takes the small empty packet of meat to the trash can before throwing it in the trash can. The man freezes in place and looks at the bottom of the packet. The man sees something written on the bottom of the packet in tiny black letters. The word, "help," is plastered on the bottom of the plastic packet. The man scratches his head in confusion, wondering if this is some kind of early April Fool's joke. After a couple of seconds, the man puts on his shoes and leaves his home. The man approaches the same meat market. It has a closed sign on the door, but the front door is not locked and the lights inside are still on. Probably thinking that the owner just closed up shop recently, the man enters the shop. Before the man can even say hello, he is met with a loud squeal sound from the room in the back. The squealing continues and gets even louder. The man approaches the black door slowly. After about 3 minutes of waiting and listening to the almost deafening pig-like squeals, the man's curiosity gets the better of him as he slowly opens the door just enough so that he can see what's inside the mysterious room. The man is immediately met with a disturbing image. He sees the owner of the shop on his knees. He's wearing only his apron and squealing like a pig. After a couple of seconds, from the shadows, a large figure emerges. The creature that emerges is at least 2.5 feet tall and seems to be morbidly obese. It is wearing a white butcher's uniform with a red apron. The most disturbing feature is its head. It looks exactly like a pig's head, but the look on its face is unnervingly human. The rest of the body looks just like a normal human being's body, although unnaturally bloated. The creature moves closer to the owner. It opens its large mouth and starts vomiting. After about 10 seconds, the creature stops vomiting and wipes its mouth with its apron. The owner lunges at the vomit and eats it while grunting like a pig, and after just a minute, he devours all of it. Not even a moment later, the owner's body swells up. It looks like his weight has doubled. The creature takes something from the table. It looks like a bag of some sort. Then it throws it right next to the owner. The owner takes the bag and puts it on his head, and as he does, it becomes clear that the object that he's putting on his head is no bag, but instead a makeshift pig mask. The mask has a pink nose taped to it and 2 holes for eyes. The owner starts squealing once again while looking at the disturbing creature. The creature grabs a large butcher knife. The creature cuts off a piece of flesh from the owner's back and drops it into the meat grinder. The owner squeals while the creature holds him down and cuts him once again. The man looks like he was being frozen solid, and he just stares in disbelief. The creature wriggles its pig-like ears and turns to face the man, and a large smile forms on its face as it looks the man in the eyes.
"Well, looks like you already ate it. Good."
The man trembles in fear as the creature grunts.
"Since you're here, there's no need for this one."
The creature averts its gaze. It looks at the owner and with one quick move, it slices his throat. The owner audibly chokes on his own blood. And as the owner dies, the creature grunts in pleasure and looks at the man once again.
"Come, you'll be a fine replacement."
The man tries to turn around and make a run for it, but before he can, the creature speaks once again.
"You owe me this pocket."
As soon as he hears the creature speak, the man falls to the ground. Then he gets up and quickly enters the room. The man gets on all fours and starts squealing, just like the owner did. The massive creature slowly approaches the door and closes it. Tape ends. The last couple of tapes were disturbing, but this one almost made me throw up. I didn't even let the warning play out. Instead, I took out the tape and threw it in the back of the box. Then I put the next tape in and hit play. Tape 4. Pigeons begins. A man is watching TV in his apartment. Suddenly, loud cooing is heard. The man is visibly frustrated. He quickly stands up and approaches the balcony. He opens the balcony door and angrily shouts at the small group of pigeons. The pigeons scatter instantly, but it seems like one of the pigeons is entangled in the messy collection of fishing gear that the man keeps stored on the balcony. The frightened bird tries its best to get out of the fishing wire. Nets and rods are pinning it to the ground, but to no avail. The man looks at the trapped animal. A malicious grin forms on his face. "That's what you get, you bloody bastard." The man leaves the struggling pigeon and closes the door, showing no empathy at all. He sits on his large sofa and continues watching TV. A montage begins. The man is doing his usual daily routine while the trapped pigeon's frantic cooing is noticeable in the background. Seemingly, days pass, and the pigeon's desperate cooing is getting louder and louder. But the man remains unbothered. He completely ignores the bird's cries for help. After many days of struggle, the pigeon finally becomes completely silent. He notices this almost immediately, then gets a trash bag and opens the balcony door. He is met with a surprise. Instead of finding the corpse of the unfortunate pigeon, he finds nothing more than his fishing gear. He shuffles through the fishing gear, but the pigeon is nowhere to be seen. He scratches the back of his head in confusion. Then he exits the balcony and starts watching TV once again. As soon as he sits down on the sofa, he hears 2 light knocks on the window. He turns around and looks at the balcony window. He notices an unusually dark-colored pigeon pecking at the window. The pigeon seems to be completely black, except for its large blood-red eyes. The man approaches the window and quickly knocks on it to try and scare the pigeon away. But instead of flying away, the bird just slightly turns its head and looks directly at the man. He awkwardly stares at the pigeon for a good minute while trying to scare it away. He shouts and knocks at the window, but the bird doesn't move or make a sound. Its bloody eyes continue staring at the man. His patience seems to be thinning as he grabs a fly swatter off the table. With the long fly swatter in hand, he opens the balcony door and immediately forcefully hits the pigeon with the large fly swatter. Surprisingly, the dark pigeon is completely unfazed, and once again, it turns its head slowly and looks at the man straight in the eyes. The anger on the man's face is quickly replaced with a look of absolute fear. He quickly exits the balcony, closes and locks the door behind him, then quickly shuts the blinds of the balcony. Visibly disturbed by the unwanted visitor, he goes to the bathroom and washes his face. While washing his face, he hears another knock. Instinctively, he looks at the bathroom window and sees that the same dark pigeon staring at him with its bulging eyes. He quickly shuts the blinds once again and exits the bathroom. And another montage begins. The man is once again doing his usual daily routine. The scenes are similar to the last montage, but this time, the man is visibly uneasy. The uncanny dark pigeon is standing at the window of every room that the man enters. He's trying to ignore the pigeon's gaze, but to no avail. Finally, the man seems to have had enough. He shuts the blinds of every window in his home. While trembling in fear, he sits down and turns on the TV. His hands are shaking so much that he can barely even hold the TV remote. Suddenly, a loud sound of glass breaking is heard. The man gets up and slowly approaches the bathroom. He cautiously opens the door of the bathroom. Inside the bathroom, on top of the shattered glass, stands a tall, dark figure. A massive, bird-like creature is easily as large as the man. It is covered in feathers that look more like greasy, dark fur. Its legs are long and muscular, overgrown. Sharp talons are protruding from the creature's toes. The sinister creature's beak is oddly similar to a toucan's, the only difference being its charcoal black color. Without warning, the creature looks the man in the eyes. He immediately notices something that makes him scream in terror. The creature's eyes look like a pair of bloody marbles, exactly like the dark eyes of the pigeon. The man starts to run, and the creature immediately follows him, matching his pace with ease. He tries to exit his home, but the creature quickly stands in front of the main door. With his only exit now blocked, he desperately enters the living room. He quickly rushes to the balcony. His mix of rashness and fear overwhelm him as he trips and falls on the hard balcony floor. A loud crack is heard as his head hits the ground. The man looks like he is badly hurt. He doesn't appear to be able to get up, and his speech has become reduced to pained moaning. The disturbing creature approaches the crippled man, and as the man slowly loses consciousness, the creature looks at him in the eyes for one final time. Tape ends, and just like the last time, I quickly swapped the tape for the next one. Tape 5. Eripmav begins. A fence with a metal gate is shown. An older-looking man approaches it. The man opens the gate and reveals a large cow pasture. There's about 50 cows walking on the pasture. The cows themselves look to be very well taken care of. Some of them are eating fresh grass, while others are drinking water from the water troughs. While most of the cows seem to be carefree and perfectly healthy, one of the cows is standing away from them and looks extremely sick. It is far skinnier than the rest of the group. A swarm of flies is hovering over its head. The man approaches the ill cow. It seems to look even worse up close. The poor animal looks like it's even lucky to be alive. The sickly cow doesn't even seem to notice the man as it stares at the fence. Its eyes are foggy and white. Sorrow appears on the man's wrinkly face. He takes a look at the nearest water trough. The water inside seems to be tainted. The liquid's color seems to be pale red. The man immediately drains the water trough. Then he hastily cleans it and fills it up with fresh water. The man takes out a phone out of his pocket and makes a call. "It's an emergency, all right? I need you here now, Jack." He quickly ends the call and waits. Not even 5 minutes pass, and a muscular man wearing a cowboy hat and black rubber boots joins the old man. "Hey there, Abe. What's the problem?" "Well, take a look for yourself." Abe points at the sickly cow. Jack takes a look at the unfortunate cow. "Jesus. Well, what the hell happened here?" "I have no idea. First time I've seen anything like this. Bessie was healthy as ever yesterday. Now look at her. She's barely hanging on." Abe takes a deep breath. "She won't last more than a day. Please, just end her suffering." Jag pats Abe on the shoulder. "Go take a rest. I'll take care of Bessie. She'll pass peacefully. I promise." "I appreciate it." Abe hands the gate key to Jack. "I'll return the key to you after I finish up here. Won't take long." Abe leaves the pasture. It seems like a couple hours have passed, and Abe is sitting in a rocking chair and holding a glass of whiskey. The doorbell rings. Abe quickly leaves his drink on the nearby table and rushes to open the front door. He opens the door and sees Jack. "I've taken care of old Bessie for you. I'm sorry that it's come to this." "Thank you, old friend. I've just opened up a good bottle of scotch. Want to join me?" "Well, won't say no to that." Jack enters Abe's home. Abe leads Jack to a small living room. Abe pours Jack a glass of expensive-looking Scotch whiskey. The friends seem to enjoy each other's company. They chat about various topics and seem to enjoy the whiskey. Hours pass, and Jack looks at the silver watch on his wrist. "It's already so damn late. Time flies when you're having fun. Unfortunately, I can't stay any longer. Have to fix the old tractor. Can't really do that without some shut-eye." Well, that's a shame." The two friends sit up and approach the front door. As soon as Abe opens the door, the sound of cattle in distress is heard. The cows are mooing loudly. "Well, seems like luck is still not on my side." Abe goes to the living room and grabs a hunting rifle, and he quickly hurries back. "I'll bring this old thing, just in case." "Hey, that sounds good. I'll watch your back." The two friends quickly walk towards the pasture gate. The mooing is getting louder and louder and more frantic. Abe unlocks the gate. and the two friends hastily open the gate and enter the pasture. As soon as they look in the direction of the frightened cows, they are met with a dreadful sight. A skinny, dark red intruder is standing beside the water trough and cutting its wrists deeply with its long, sharp nails. Even though the creature appears to be only 1.8 feet tall, the creature's arms are lanky and incredibly long. If fully extended, they seem to be able to touch the ground. The creature's head is human-like, but it doesn't even have one hair on it. Even the eyebrows are missing. Its wrists are bleeding heavily. Dark red blood drips into the water and slowly gives the water a reddish hue. Most of the cows continue running in circles and mooing frantically, but 5 of them start drinking the contaminated water. The two friends stare in disbelief as the cows rapidly ingest the bloody water. As soon as the cows stop drinking the water, their eyes become pearly white. Their pupils seemingly disappear. The creature stops cutting itself and looks at the 5 cows. The animals obediently look at the creature, seemingly hypnotized. Abe grabs the hunting rifle and skillfully aims it at the disturbing intruder. He shoots one bullet, and it hits the creature straight in the head. The bullet passes through the creature's forehead as blood gushes out of the open wound. The 5 cows scramble to lick the spilled blood. Surprisingly, the creature easily shrugs off the damage. It doesn't even react to the wound. Seemingly amused, the creature looks at Abe while its wound rapidly heals. Not even 10 seconds pass, and the wound completely disappears. The creature smiles while looking at Abe. Its smile is unnaturally wide. It is then that I notice a disturbing feature of the mysterious intruder. It has no teeth. The creature extends its eerily long arm and points at Abe and Jack. The 5 cows instantly start running towards the two friends. Abe and Jack exit the pasture in a hurry. Abe tries to lock the gate with his trembling hands uncontrollably. Unfortunately, he doesn't lock it in time as the 5 cows stampede through the gate. The 5 cows mercilessly trample on Abe and Jack, and screams of agony are heard as the cows easily crush the bodies of both men. The creatures approach the mangled bodies of the men. Their heads have already turned into a bloody mush under the weight of the frenzied cows. The creature looks at the crushed corpses of the men and smiles once again. Its toothless grin remains as it starts eating the soft, crushed remains of the men. Tape ends. I stare at the screen in shock. This time, instead of the usual warning, a different disclaimer appears. You've made it to the halfway point. A 20-minute break is allowed. Continue watching as soon as the 20 minutes pass. I want to use the surprisingly 20-minute break in all its glory. So I'll end this part here.